Well, hello, everybody. This is Luigi on the go one more time, and we're going throughout the world. I've been everywhere in Africa, Europe, American, Central America, Caribbean, and now we are in China. Let's go. Today we have a friend of mine that is in China for a while now, and I had the chance to see his wife's YouTube channel. So I'll make sure to put all the description in the description below of this video, and also subscribe to mine, also Luigi on the go on YouTube, and discover China throughout Liz and Jeff. So I have them with me today, and I'm really happy. Last time we have met, Jeff, was in Calgary.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Great.
We're doing great, yeah. We're doing all right considering how crazy things are.
Thanks for having us on your channel.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine. I'm happy to be in China with you guys.
Yeah, man. It was about, what now, 7 years ago, 8 years ago?
It was in 2000, winter 2013, 2014.
So, yeah, actually only 6 years ago. Ah, that's right on. Okay. Well, we're back again, man, and we're happy to be, seeing you in Montreal, and kind of wishing we were there right now because we love Montreal. It's a great city. So.
Yeah. And how long you guys been in China? And what are you doing in China?
6 years. We're teachers at an international school here for kids from all over the world.
Wow. So how's the experience there? How you love China? How you adjusted to China?
Well, it was a tough transition for sure. It's one of those countries that's really so different and hard to break into. Mm-hmm. So the first couple of years were tough, but we met each other and we discovered China together, and now we love the food, know a little bit of Chinese, and know how to get around and do everything. So yeah, there's a lot of technology here as well that you have to learn, like on your phone, and so that's a big jump from Canada as well with all the technology they have going.
I can put it like this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember, you remember when you were a kid in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember Japan had everything? You thought they had robots running down the street and they had all the technology there.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what China's like to us now, because everything you can do on your phone. So you guys know how you have Amazon and all that stuff. I can order groceries, pay my bills, what else? Order a taxi.
And literally everything.
Pay everything on my phone, right out of my bank account. On the same app, I'm talking to you it would be Facebook. I can Zoom. I can do all those things from one app.
One app?
So one app.
Oh, wow.
Everything. They have a million delivery services you can use. You literally, you don't need to leave your house.
Yeah, you've never actually had to leave your house. Yeah, you could do everything from one app. So if Facebook was everything was combined into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Amazon, everything.
Apple Pay.
Yeah.
All in one.
Wow.
It's all in one. It's called WeChat.
Yeah, I heard about it. Somebody asked me to, I think you're the one who asked me to download that app. I think it's WeChat, yeah.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. You can do everything on it, like I said.
So which part of China are you in? North, south, east, central, downtown, in the suburb? Where are you? What's the name of the town? I'm trying to understand. I mean, I'm in Montreal. I take the metro. That's all I know.
I hear you.
So China's huge. We are kind of south-middle. We're not exactly in the middle, and we're near the coast. If you look on a map and find Shanghai, we're 2 hours driving or half hour on the bullet train from Shanghai in a little, well, it's not really little, there's 10 million people here, but it's called Suzhou. We're in Suzhou.
Suzhou. So if you look at I'm going to put us in perspective of Canada. We'd be on the East Coast and we're 2 hours drive from Halifax.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So Shanghai would be Halifax. So we're 2 hours drive from there. So.
We're like New York.
Yeah, I guess.
Outside Albany. We're in Albany.
Yeah.
Okay. So how is it right now for you guys in China with the Corona situation? How did you live it? Because I seen videos on Liz YouTube, but the app and you at the airport. Can you give us your experience about a month ago when we started to see it blown here in America? And I seen the video at the airport and your video with the app. Can you explain that to the people?
So when it first started, everything got locked down, but it was already quiet because of Chinese New Year, and you can watch the videos, the progression of videos if you go back. And we weren't worried about it really at all. We just thought, one or two people, just like you guys, one or two people, no big deal. We'll be fine. But we took precautions. Then I went on holiday to Japan, so obviously I didn't think it was that serious and left Jeff alone. So he made a video about that as well.
Yeah, that's when you went to Sapporo with your son.
Yeah.
I know. I saw you.
You're good. So yeah, we didn't really think it's gonna be such a big deal, I guess. Like, we knew it was serious, but China took a lot of measures to shut it down. Everyone in their house. Things that probably couldn't happen back home, at least. I mean, I'm surprised how much Canada's been shut down, actually. But yeah, you can't get into your house, into your compound without checking your temperature, showing an app. You can't go in anywhere without showing apps.
So what's that app all about? What's that app all about? The
app is like, you fill out your information, your ID and your name, and you promise that you're telling the truth. Because if you're caught not telling the truth, you're in big trouble. Like, you better just tell the truth on that. And then, depending, like, if you haven't been to Wuhan, you haven't been overseas, you've been in Suzhou for 14 days, then you get a green code, and that's basically allows you to go into other shops and things.
So the application is to follow people and just to make sure everybody is safe or not, right? And is it from city to city or from boroughs to borough in the same city?
City to city.
Okay.
So I can go anywhere in Suzhou and show that. But interestingly, if I go to Shanghai, I haven't gone yet, but I've heard the app switches to Shanghai.
Oh.
So
it knows where you've been.
It knows where you are, basically.
Wow. Yeah, your phone gets tracked, and this isn't like crazy conspiracy theory stuff.
It does.
There's like a process that you do to show that you've been in the country for a while, and it's very easy for them to track. It's like your geolocator or whatever in your phone.
Right.
And yeah, so you're just like, oh, see, I've been here for 14 days, and they're like, okay.
And like, to get it checked, you just scan some sort of QR code, and then it gives an approval or not an approval if you haven't been here.
Yeah, you don't want to get denied. You're doomed then, yeah.
So while this was going on about a month ago, that's the video I saw on Liz YouTube. You were leaving to go to Thailand, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
You were by yourself at the airport.
Yeah, actually, I'd just gone with. Yeah, it was basically me and the cleaning lady.
Wow.
And now if you ever go to this airport, I'm just trying to think what would be like a busy airport in Cant. I know, Luigi, you've been to lots of different cities and stuff. You've traveled, right? So you know international airports.
It's like in New York City. It's like
New York City, Dorval, Atlanta.
Any busy airport.
It's just crazy, people everywhere all the time. And yeah, you could have thrown a baseball down the hallway and hit
football,
nothing,
baseball, slap shots, anything.
Yeah, exactly. Shot a cannon off. You wouldn't have hit anybody. And that is the craziest I've ever seen that airport, because it's usually nuts. And especially during the day, like this was, I've never experienced anything like it, and will experience nothing like it again.
But they opened the airport only for Jeff? How come only you and the cleaning lady? What's going on? You got the hookup.
He's kind of a big deal.
RBD, baby, like really big deal right here. There was still like a few people there flying off to just whatever countries were left. So Thailand was like one of the only ones still open at the point, or at that point. But yeah, everything else was basically, you look at the board, it's like just all red, cancel.
Yeah, I saw that in the video,
Yeah, then Thailand. Like, woohoo!
Yeah, they kept putting a few flights out.
Yeah. So how come you went to Thailand? Why did you go during that moment? You had something going on, or?
I needed to get the heck out of here just so I had some, like a mental health break, you know?
Yeah.
Because as everyone probably watching now, you guys are locked in, for the most part. Lots of people are, getting a little bit crazy, cabin fever and all that. I experienced it from mid-January all the way up until I left at March 3rd. And that was a long time to be here by myself with my
locked in.
Yeah, locked in, nowhere to go, nothing to do. So I thought, it's fine if I go for like a week and then turn it into 2.
And there was a couple of guys going, friends.
Yeah.
So it would
all
be
the
a
people,
fun guy trip.
It was all the guys that were here throughout the whole thing. We were all like, we need to get out for like at least a week because they were talking about canceling our upcoming holiday for school. And we're like, okay, well, we'll go now and then come back and there should be no problems, right? Because there's no problems in Thailand. And that's where all the other countries started to like increase in numbers.
Yeah.
And at first, when Liz came back from Bangladesh, you were in Japan, Bangladesh, Myanmar.
I went all over.
She had a good trip.
You guys saying Bangladesh, Japan, like going to the corner store. Like this is a whole different speech to me.
Well, Luigi, we are
from Japan, I flew to Myanmar, stayed there for 10 days. Then I went to Bangladesh for 10 days. Then I came back because I felt sorry for Jeff. And then directly after that, he left me and went to Thailand.
To be fair, Luigi, when I met you in Calgary, 6-7 years ago, I had only been to one country, and that was the U.S.
Barely.
And I'd been to Montana. Like, whoop-de-whoop. Like, yeah, exactly. I was in, like, a little sphere. But now I'm like, enjoying it while I can. But yeah, going back to, like, traveling. So we were thinking, you can go for maybe a week, come back, no problems. And everything started to change then because they said at first, if you come back, 7 days quarantine inside and then 7, like, just try not to go out too much. Then they changed it to 14 locked into your own apartment.
Like locked in with a sensor, like you can't even open the door.
With a sensor?
A sensor.
There's like a little sensor on your door, so every time it opens, it sends a signal to your like manager, your watcher.
Yeah, there's a camera.
They inspect like what's going on because some people's sensors have fallen off their door. But you're allowed to get deliveries like 3 times a week or something, so that they know when the delivery's coming. Like that's when you open the door for the delivery. It's all like connected with the technology. So so that was like the next level was quarantining your home. But as Jeff's coming home, they upped the level to you need to be in a quarantine hotel, which sounds terrifying, but it actually wasn't as bad as we thought it was gonna be like a gymnasium with like beds everywhere, and you're definitely gonna catch coronavirus.
Concentration camp.
Yeah,
like we just thought it was gonna be a nightmare. So we're like, stay out as long as you can. Like, don't rush home. Let's not do this right now. Let's see if it calms down. And it just got worse and worse. So, but the quarantine hotel was just a really nice hotel, actually, like nice in anyone's standards hotel. Although you didn't get a choice of food. No. You just got 3 meals delivered a day, and they were very Chinese and very tons of rice and salty and whatever. So that was kind of like jail, just getting, whatever is given to you.
So who went? Jeff went, but Liz, you were at home. Jeff.
I was at home.
She stayed.
Chilling.
So when she landed, we were together for a couple of days, and I'm like, I'm getting the heck out of here. I just needed like a week to myself, like a boys' weekend. And then, like I said, it got crazy and it got extended. But then, the one interesting about the quarantine hotel. So it was like you get locked into what would be a hotel back home, Motel 6.
No. It wasn't the Motel 6. It was like
It wasn't the Hyatt.
No, it was like a Hilton.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So you're locked in, and the food, again, we really love the food here. There's a lot of variety in China, just like there is in a lot of countries that have an old population from like hundreds and thousands of years ago. Mm-hmm. So we're like, oh man, Chinese food's great. But then after a while, like by day 3, it's the same boiled cabbage. It's the same like weird tofu. Like it's some local restaurant making it, and there's no heart in it. It's just like food.
Slop.
It's like, here's a
Prison
plastic
slop.
bowl of rice. And you're still like, obviously you want to survive, so you're going to eat it.
Yeah.
But after a while, you're like, I can't do this anymore. Imagine like you're stuck in that hotel room eating lasagna every meal, man. You're going to be like sick of lasagna after a while. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like somebody's like, oh, you want some rice? I'm like, no. Get away from me.
So you stayed there 7 days?
14.
14 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Locked
Okay,
in,
wait.
key thrown away.
Here's the funny. Oh, and he had to do 2 coronavirus tests before he was allowed out. One like a week in, and then and then like right before.
But you're okay.
Yeah.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. No bad results.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, the funny thing is I could drop off, or anyone could drop off stuff for him at the front. There was like a table set up for drop-offs with a guy in a hazmat suit. You get used to seeing hazmat suits
everywhere,
by the way.
Everything.
Anyway, I have some pictures I can share with you later. Anyway, so you drop off the goods, and so he would be able to get. I smuggled in alcohol, rolled up in pants.
Yeah.
I had to bring in clothes, like winter clothes. You couldn't turn the heat on.
Oh yeah, they turned all the heat off. Yeah.
Because they think the heat might circulate the virus. Like the heating system.
Yeah, blow the air around, right?
Yeah, here too they have that thought too that the heat will dissipate the virus. I don't know.
No, they don't think it'll dissipate it. They think it'll spread it through the vents.
The air vents.
You have the heating on in your house.
Oh, so the heat off or on?
Heat off in the hotel. So you can imagine it's cold.
It's not Montreal cold, but it
cold.
Wasn't warm. Let's just say that. And like I said, I only had shorts and a t-shirt from Thailand, right? Because I was like living it up on the beach and stuff. So I get here and it's wintertime and they're like, oh, we can't turn the heat on. It's like, oh, okay. So I basically lived under a blanket for a couple of days.
But I smuggled some stuff in for you, for alcohol wrapped in pants and sweaters.
Oh man, yeah.
And snacks and things. But after a while, they even were like, no alcohol now. And then later it was like, no bread. I don't know why no bread. But
they banned bread. Who bans bread?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. So like there was a bunch of foreigners. We all were in the same, like, we'll say Facebook group talking every day about like, oh, the food guy's coming. Like almost like prison, right? Like somebody's got the mirror out the door. Yeah.
Mirror.
So, and then we're like, oh man, who bans bread? Like foreigners were living off bread.
Wow.
It wasn't that bad, but after a while, you're like day 12, you're like, I need some bread, man. Like
bread junkie.
Exactly. You forget what you really cherish until you don't have it anymore.
Exactly. So after the 14 days, you came back home, and that's how long ago? Last week? Yeah. That was last week, I guess.
It's almost 2 weeks.
I think almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah, 2 weeks Monday. That was the best day of my life. Like we had to get a driver to bring me in my house, which makes me sound fancy. Well, my driver came and picked me up, but the school provided it, which was nice. So they had me, or drive me home, and the guy got lost, and he ended up out in the boonies somewhere, some rice paddies and like old farmers and stuff.
Oh boy!
And you know what? I didn't care because I was not stuck in that hotel anymore.
Free at last.
And the guy, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Drive on, sir. Drive on. I don't care. Get me there eventually."
So, by the way, I think it was your birthday last weekend.
Yeah, Tuesday that just happened. Yeah, it was my birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. I follow you a little bit because I was worried.
Yeah, no, I'm good now. That was good having that party. It was like celebrating freedom, like you said, right? So.
So you guys went out in a bar, I think, or something? Bars are open, restaurants are open now?
Most of them are. This is a foreigner type of restaurant that caters a lot to foreigners. I mean, everyone, but most foreigners go there. And it's a big restaurant, bar. So the owner put up that beautiful poster and balloons and everything for Jeff, and because he invited like a lot of people, and it was just nice that we could go in there and have a safe space to party
and when and for like the people watching and listening, when we say foreigners, it's not just like what we think maybe Western foreigners and all that. In China, the word foreigner is everyone who's not from China. So we had like everyone together, like a model United Nations, like we're all hanging out. So we've got like people from Nigeria, people from different countries like Chile, you've got people from Korea, like we're all foreigners, right? So when we say a restaurant is for foreigners, it's got tons of different things on the menu.
It's not to say Chinese people don't go there, but
it's just more of a
foreigner based.
Yeah, more of a English speaking kind of place. But yeah, everyone goes everywhere. It's kind of nice that way. But
I have a question since you're talking about foreigners. I seen that this week about the foreigners. Was a group, I don't know if it's a 50 or 10 black from Africa that somewhere in China having a situation where they can't live nowhere, they're in the streets or people are scared of them. What's the whole story behind that?
Well, I mean, I want to definitely talk about this one because everyone has been like focused on that I know, and everyone's disgusted with it, including local people here, because they're like, we can't do that. Like, those are human beings. Like, just because of their skin color, house. That makes no sense, and it's prejudice. No one can stand for prejudice. So, but there was a really interesting video that we saw about a lady who was yelling at, who was it, the police or somebody, saying like, why are you kicking them out of their house? Like, there's people from, or Chinese people that came back with the virus, you're not kicking them out of their house. There's white people come back, you're not kicking them out of their house. So why these black guys from Africa? Well, you know why, right? People are just being ridiculous, and we can't stand for it. No one should be like, saying, oh, that's fine. Everyone should be condemning it. And there's a lot of people here in China that are, not just foreigners, but locals as well.
But the story about them is because they think they have the virus, or it's a whole different reason? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Some of them do, and some of them don't have the virus.
So, no, like some of them, it was found they had the virus. So I think like 19 of them. And the thinking behind it was, look, well, first of all, you can identify Africans most of the time because it's like their skin color, right? So it's easy to be discriminating against a group like in such a broad way. But the other thing is, the thinking from the Chinese side who's doing that is like, well, they all hang out together, so they probably all have it, right?
Oh, okay.
Because they hang out in their community like most people do.
Right.
Like I was saying, the foreigner restaurant, like, oh, if one person from the foreigner restaurant has it, then all foreigners probably have it.
Because we all hang out.
Of course, it's not true, but that's the mentality, right? So then people just started panicking and doing stupid things and if they get if some of those police and stuff get a mandate from higher up saying, look, there's this problem, we need to protect society, they take it to like a whole new level, a stupid level.
But how come they didn't get quarantined instead of kicking them out? I don't get that part.
We don't know, man.
We
it's
think
silly.
they did, but then people just started going crazy.
Yeah, probably too. Yeah.
And again, people do crazy things during crazy situations, right? This isn't a part of China that's not near us, and we haven't seen anything like that here.
Okay.
And we haven't heard of that in Shanghai either. But this is like a one area where there's a lot of people from Africa specifically live in that community because I think there's industry and lots of trade between that province and different, like how many countries are in Africa? 52, 54?
52,
but China
54,
has a lot, yeah. China has a lot of investment in different countries, right? So people go back and forth, and it's been great up until now.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of students. Yeah. There's a lot of students from Nigeria, Ghana, and those mainly West Africa, studying here as well at universities here. So
great
there's
cultural,
a lot of students.
Yeah, great cultural exchange, right? Because I mean, there is prejudice against what people think Africa is. They think of it with one big country. They think it's just poor. They just think,
and that's probably very prevalent here, right?
Yeah.
Like people don't.
So up until now, it's like, okay, well, like it's great. People are going back and forth and they're seeing what it's really like and the diversity and cultures and different countries, but now with this silliness that's happening, it's not so cool. But hopefully they'll go back to being awesome like they were before.
Yeah, hopefully. So you keep yourself busy, Liz, with your YouTube channel. I seen you've been all around. It's incredible. I mean, you've been to Japan, you've been to Thailand, you went to Sapporo at the Sapporo Museum, right? So how is it How is it discovered in Asia? What's your perspective now, your opinion on it now?
Asia is amazing because there's so many different cultures, many different kinds of amazing food, so many things to see. Like Asia is huge. one of my goals is to see every country in the world. So sometimes I travel without Jeff because if he doesn't want to go there, then I just go by myself. I love Asia. It's funny because when I lived in Canada, I was struggling and trying to make ends meet. Like, you know, the hustle's hard there. And especially as a young mom and everything. So, yeah, when I thought going to Japan would be a pipe dream, like Bali. Nobody goes to Bali. That's just like a dot on the map somewhere where I'll never get to, but sounds cool. But now that I'm here, because everything's so close by, not so much with China, it's a bit farther, but when I used to live in Vietnam too, so everything was really close by. It's easy to travel, easy to see the world from here.
You guys inspire me. I've been all around in America, but I was thinking about Dubai or probably go in Asia somewhere, because like you're saying, you try to make ends meet, but it's such a different reality here. And there's we're 7.5 billion people. So there's so much to see also, you know?
Well, I mean, again, going back to when we first met, I was just some hillbilly from like a small redneck town in Alberta, right? Like I'm from High River, Alberta, of 10,000 people. The diversity when I was growing up, everyone looked like me, talked like me, did the same things, ate the same kind of foods. If you were going for diversity, you went to the Chinese restaurant, the one Chinese restaurant.
Right.
That was
Chinese
yeah, Chinese restaurant.
Egg roll restaurant.
Yeah, you got it, right?
Soup restaurant.
You know it, man. And to anyone who hasn't traveled or is thinking about traveling, do it, because not only is it just, you know, good for seeing cool things and having cool experiences, it's good for your perspective on the world of understanding humans better. Like if you can see the same kind of humans in different places, you start to realize, oh, maybe if you had some prejudices or ideas before, you start to think differently. You're like, oh, you know what? Maybe people all over the world are very similar, right?
Yeah, and like everything you believe to be true gets turned on its head often.
Yeah.
Like for Bangladesh, I was convinced it was going to be an awful experience. I don't know why I was going, but I was going.
Safety issues.
Like I thought I was going to be unsafe, especially as a woman by myself. I thought I was going to be grabbed, robbed, and so many people that live there. It's very densely populated. So I was kind of scared, you know, and I've traveled to 43 countries or something.
Wow.
So I'm not like afraid to travel, but I was pretty scared to go, but I was like, I have to do this. So I went and I was mind blown. Like I rarely get like that culture, like not culture shock, but like blown away by an experience. Cause like sometimes if you travel a lot, things start to blend together. Like one church is the same as another church or whatever, but
or
temple or whatever. So my mind was blown because not so much for the sights, and I'm going to do some YouTube videos on it coming up soon once I get motivated to get back into it. Just been kind of thrown off with the virus, but yeah, my mind was blown because it was so cool. The people were the nicest, friendliest, most kind, generous, gentle people. Nobody was trying to rob me. Nobody was trying to touch me. Everyone's trying to protect me and be super gentlemen, and I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. It was one of my most amazing experiences. My most feared experience turned out to be one of my most amazing experiences.
Throughout your YouTube channel, I seen two moments that I really liked. Is when you went to Sapporo with your son, and also that town you went with Jeff, where you took a boat, and it was a Wednesday no car day, I think, something like that.
And Brunei.
Oh, that place was so cool too.
It was a town on the water. It was all in stilts.
That was nice. I really like that. I really like that.
Isn't that crazy?
That was also one of the places where I was convinced, based on any information I was getting on the internet, that it was going to be the most boring place, useless place to visit, but we're going to visit it anywhere. And it turned out to be awesome. We loved it so much. It was amazing.
Yeah,
so
that was nice.
Again, it turns everything on its head, what you expect.
Yeah, we had really good Pakistani food there.
Oh man, I love Pakistani food. Pakistan is high on my list of places to visit, by the way.
Never thought we'd be saying that growing up, but...
And I'm starting to see, like, just even me, again, I've traveled a lot, and I'm like, so things that I thought were scary before are now becoming silly. I'm sure it's not scary.
Let's just open our minds.
Yeah, opening the mind.
Like,
Get out of your comfort zone also.
Absolutely. I mean, being at least where I grew up, we were scared of a lot of things. Like, like this is coming, you'll get robbed. Don't do this thing. Like bad things will happen. Stay in your comfort zone. We're safe here, especially in my small town where I was from, but even Calgary. It's like, oh, don't go to that neighborhood. Forest lawn's scary at night, all these things.
Forest lawn, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Fogetto, yeah.
It might be scary at night, but
every place is kind of scary at night.
Yeah.
Just as nighttime, but
anyway.
But I hadn't traveled anywhere until I was 30. I'm 37 now, and I'm really glad I did. But just having anyone listening, just take that trip when everything calms down that you've always wanted to do. Just give it a try. Stay away from like the tourist hotspots. Go somewhere if you can that's not as popular. Try to push yourself a little bit, like maybe a country that's not in the top 10. Go to maybe like if you've never heard of the place as much, try that. But I want to ask you, I'm going to flip this interview. I'm in charge now. I'm the boss. Okay, yeah. So Luigi, we were talking about food and stuff earlier. You're in Montreal. It's a foodie capital. We know how good you got it there.
Bagels.
Oh man, poutine. Montreal smoked meat, which they have in Shanghai. Yeah. Okay, so you were asking us the top 3. Yeah. What's your top 3 Montreal? You got to go. You can pick by like kind of food, or you can do like just top 3 places you would. Yeah, you're out of quarantine tomorrow.
I would say I love Indian food.
Hell yeah.
Indian food. Sometimes I go to Chinatown. Mongolian, like in the wok.
Oh.
Yeah.
The hot pot.
Yeah. And what else? I like to discover different Caribbean, like the way they do their rice and the curry and this and that. Yeah, I would say
curry
top 3. Yeah, exactly. Top 3. Yeah. So that's why I want to go to Dubai or somewhere. I want to go to Laos. Laos. I want to go visit there, but I might stop by China first and come and see you guys and come and mix somewhere at the sport bars I can come with my mixer. I put it in my bag and come down.
I got my DJ gear, man. You can play on that. I got a tractor. It's all good.
Okay, I might get some hate on this, but Laos is beautiful, but it's not a foodie place. So if you're after the food, Thailand or Vietnam.
What do you say? Rat on a stick was like the big thing.
Rat on a stick. If you're into it, Laos is your place. But it's not. I didn't find the food there as good.
Did you guys eat rat or stuff like that?
I didn't.
No, Liz has been to Laos. I haven't been to Laos. Okay. I've been all around it, but I've never been to Laos.
But I never ate the rat on a stick. But that's sold everywhere there.
But that's a question.
Go Vietnam.
I got a question about that. Rat and dogs and stuff, cats, whatever. Is it everywhere? Is it real?
It's not everywhere, but it is real, and people do eat it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like there's a spit of dog like outside my building or anything. Depending on the class of people as well, like the newer generation aren't really into it as much. Older people who grew up in the war are more into that kind of thing. Poor people, I find, eat it more. I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but it seems like eat it more than sort of wealthy people who moved on from that kind of thing.
No,
they only eat the poodles.
They only eat the poodles.
Like rich people have dogs now as pets, so that's like changing the perspective and things.
Okay,
so it's like a class thing as well.
So I think this came at a moment where it was survival mode. That's where that trend was setting. Oh, okay.
And again, China gets all the grief for eating dog, but people in parts of Korea, people in Vietnam, you name a country near here, it's not abnormal. It's just not a top thing. But when I first landed in China and I became a teacher here, I remember I was asking the kids like, oh, what are the different kinds of meats you can eat? And the kids, like, as a little practice, right? They're like beef, chicken, pork. And I was like, okay, they got through fish. And then like number 5 was dog. And I was like, what? And I thought everyone would laugh. Yeah. They were screwing with me. And it was like silent. They didn't laugh until they got to cat. And they're like, ha ha ha. I was like, okay, that's different. But I've never, brother, I don't see like bat soup or any of that stuff around us. It's different places, different like things. Like who would have thought lobster would take off? It's one of the freakiest looking things in the world. We're eating like the insect of the sea, but lobster, everyone wants it. Like
that's true.
Yeah,
caviar, like what?
But you don't walk into a wet market. Even I'm scared to say that word now. It's mostly vegetables and fish that they sell there, like fish and tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're not bats and snakes and anything over there. It's just fruits, vegetables, and sometimes they sell seafood like normal, like at a grocery store. Okay. Sometimes they have like a chicken area, but not live, dead chicken.
So let's talk about that bat and stuff like that. Where are you guys far from Wuhan, where there was the bat selling thing? And are you guys far from Wuhan?
600 kilometers. So
pretty close. Pretty close. It's like the next province over, basically.
Close enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like driving from Calgary through Saskatchewan, right? Like 6 hours is a long way. Or it's like driving to Edmonton and back. So it's still a bit of a distance, but it's close enough where you're like, ugh, like.
Yeah.
And don't forget, everywhere has got bullet trains and like transportation and everything. So people are coming and going. Planes are flying in and out. Like it's a lot more people here, so a lot more movement of people, right? So it's very easy to spread things.
But I've never seen a market like that, I don't think, with my own eyes, with all those animals in
They
it.
do exist, but just like in everywhere.
I've never seen it. So, but I don't doubt they exist. They definitely do, but it depends where and how.
Exactly.
And you know what? I think we need to bring to attention that I'm not defending China for it because I think it's terrible, but not China. I mean, I think selling live animals like that is just awful anywhere.
If you're not treating them with respect, you don't deserve
but
anything.
I think we need to realize that it's not just a China thing. Anywhere in Southeast Asia, they have live animal markets. I've seen them in Thailand. Love Thailand, but
Vietnam.
The Chatuchak market has a section with wild animals all put in cages, and that's not the only market. Like, there's so many, and it's just another crisis waiting to happen. We need to stop that.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, you know, we're so morally superior because we don't eat dogs and cats. It's more of like, we don't eat certain animals because we've gotten sick from them in the past.
Okay.
And
not us personally,
yeah,
but culture.
Or like they don't taste that good. Like, you know, a pig tastes good if you eat pork. If you eat pork, you're like, bacon's awesome. I love bacon. I want to eat this animal all the time. Cows as well. I've tried some different kinds of animals, like
pigeon. I don't like it.
Yeah, and you're like, this is why people don't eat pigeons. It's not that good. Chicken, hell yeah. Eat the chicken. Don't eat the pigeon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Eat the chicken every time. That's what I mean. Like, some people are like, oh, I gotta have that, you know, bat soup. Like, there's the joke, right? What are you gonna get off a bat? Like,
There's
how
no
much?
meat on a bat.
It's so small.
It.
Even if you eat the biggest bat.
There's no texture. There's no chunk. There's nothing.
Unless it's got some built-in barbecue flavor, like, I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't look that good.
It doesn't look good at all.
So any feedback from Wuhan? How is Wuhan's condition, real quick? How is it? Is it they come back in full action, or they quarantine? What's going on with Wuhan, as you know?
So when they say full action, I would say no, because even here in Suzhou, we're not in full action. Again, there's lots of restrictions and everything. Like, full action as in, yes, you can go to a restaurant. Yes, you can go to a shop in a mall, buy something, whatever. Yeah, it's all open. And I think in Wuhan, it's the same, but there's still a lot of restrictions on, like, my video, where you can't just go to your apartment without being checked. You can't just go to a store without getting your temperature checked. So all of those, there's people with hazmat suits everywhere doing stuff. So yeah, that's still on. That's not gone, but people are not locked in their homes anymore on full lockdown. They're like on social distancing now.
Okay, just playing it safe.
Mr. Luigi, I am so sorry, my friend. I need to go because I have a tutoring student at 2:00 and it's 1:57.
Oh,
I apologize for being on my phone.
Okay,
I should have probably told you that. But we had such a great conversation, man. I've loved it.
We can do it again. I can do it on your channel, and we'll share it on Lizz's channel, and I'll share it. Like, this is going to be on, I'm going to upload it tomorrow. So let's do it again.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the music.
Viral.
We'll talk about the music next time.
Yeah. Oh, man, anytime. You know, I love the music. All right, brother. Well, thanks for interviewing us, man.
Yes.
Cheers.
Links in the below, ladies and gentlemen, for Liz YouTube, and everything that they're doing and discovering will be in the description. And part 2 is coming.
All right, man. Have a great weekend. See you later.
Yes, bye.
Bye. Thanks.